Welcome back to Wallace Cemetery. You are very familiar, or should be familiar, from my videos of this cemetery. I'm going to start with my grandparents, but then I'm going to go right back to the beginning of who brought us to the Levant area. That is my grandmother and grandfather, Charles E. Goodwin and Guyla Goodwin. Both died before 2000. You know, I was very fond of them and loved them very much. And unfortunately, once I got into college and things of that nature, kind of life took me away from everything. And you know, when you're in your 20s, you're not as smart as you think you are. And you know, now that I'm in my 50s, I look back and wish I'd had more time with them. So, but that is my grandparents. Now, I will tell you, this is going to be very easy for me because I know where all the good ones are. And we're going to start with the patriarch of the Levant Goodwins. The one who brought us over to Levant. And what did I do? Did I go by him? No. Right now I'm kind of backwards. Yeah, I'm kind of backwards right now, so. Oh, okay, never mind. So this is Wallace Cemetery, Levant, Maine. And this gentleman that we're coming up on is the patriarch of the Levant Goodwins, in my view, as far as my ancestors. Ira H. Goodwin, 1866 to 1949, and his wife, Maggie, 1866 to 1948. Now Hazel was a good one. It says Getchell, but Hazel was a good one. She was the daughter of Ira's. 1899 and 1937. She was young. She was 36 years old. And that's young. That's very young. So this man, who I will show this because I'm very proud of it, was also a Mason. And it's comforting to me to know that I'm a legacy. I'm a legacy as far as the Masons go. You know, I had, you know, Masonry has been brought down through the generations. Now I can come back over here. Now this man right here, this man and woman actually, this is Jasper G. Goodwin, 1894-1971. And then his wife, Marjorie, as I knew her, Grammy with the Kittens. Jasper and Marjorie were the parents of the we call the Fighting Five, and two daughters, and one daughter that passed away prematurely. Jasper had five, and they had five sons: Charmus, Norman, Forrest, Jesse, and Fuller. Did I get them all? I think I did. Now, speaking of Fuller, his daughter, he's buried elsewhere in the cemetery, but his infant daughter is buried with his father. Now, Maggie Goodwin, and I gotta come next weekend and kind of clean this place up a little bit. Maggie Goodwin died in 1934, I believe the same day. She was a baby. And this is Alton, who was the son of Uncle Norman and Ethel, 1946, also a baby. So we've got 3 babies buried with great-grandpa Jasper. So, in no particular order, now it's time to do the brothers. Now, they also had 2 daughters, Dorothy and Aunt Florence. And Dorothy, or as Dot as they called her, I believe is buried in Massachusetts. It's in my ancestry. I'm gonna have to look that up. And Florence is buried in Florida. She just recently passed away. So there is nobody left alive of the offspring of Jasper and Marjorie Goodwin. Aunt Florence was the last one, and she just died recently. Uncle Fuller actually died this year as well, so we lost 2 in the same year. And that's it for the offspring of Jasper. Now, I will tell you what. You're going to see some good ones here. Forrest Goodwin. This is Uncle Pad. He was a son of Jasper. And also buried with Forrest is 2 wives, actually, Janice and Olive. Cheryl, he had a daughter named Cheryl that was only a year old, 1949 to 1950. And then he had a son who was 18 years old, Forrest, or Pat as he was known. Forrest II, or Pat, he was known as Pat. He died when he was 18. Now, one thing that you've seen, probably in past videos, is all of my great uncles, all of Mom's uncles, were in World War II, all 5 of them. And they tell you, I'm very proud of my heritage when it comes to them serving our country. I'll tell you, I very proud. Some days I wish I had. I did way back when try to go into the National Guard, but I was told I was too small, too short. So, which kind of stopped that. I don't know if I could have handled the Army anyway, knowing me and my sensitivity. You know, I take a lot of things personally and to heart. That's just who I am. So that was Uncle Forrest. Now, we're going to go to Uncle Fuller's, or Jasper Fuller's next, who recently passed away. And while we're on our way, as you can see, another old cemetery. It has been around a long time too. You can see a lot of stones that are old. I'm going to pan around before I keep going. That's the older part of the cemetery right there. A lot of old stones in that section. Maybe someday I will go through and see if I recognize any names. But Waugh Cemetery is also a cemetery that is still, people are still being buried in it. More towards where my grandfather and grandmother are, over that way. There's nobody really down this way too much. I'm sure there's probably plots, but they, not too many more. They're mostly over in that section of the cemetery. Now, Uncle Fuller, again, he just recently passed away. I'll get his dates when we get up here. He was the last of the brothers to pass away. My grandfather was the first. My grandfather died in 1999. But Uncle Fuller is right here. Nice stone, nice bench. Sit with us and reminisce. This is my favorite part. In memory of the Goodwin family. Which is very, very fitting for this cemetery, at least. You know what? And it would be very, very fitting for the cemetery down in South Berwick. As you can see, well, it wasn't this year. It was close to this year. Uncle Fuller died December 16, 2021. Now, I will tell you, Uncle Fuller needs a veterans marker. He really does, because the rest of them all have it. Uncle Fuller needs one, because he fought for this country. I don't know who, hopefully somebody watching this video, member of the family, because obviously it's I don't, I'm not going to step on any toes or anything like that, to order one, because it's not my place. I'm just saying I would like to see one, because I'll tell you, Uncle Fuller, he deserves it. He was very fond of Mom, and Mom was very fond of him. So, and I think Mom was very fond of all of the brothers, because we used to visit all of them when I was little. The next one you will be very familiar with, because I did the cleaning on the stones, and it looks like I need to do some cutting, because the grass is starting to overtake again. But I'll tell you, they look a lot better than they did when I first got here. Here's Mona's. Hers looks really nice. Uncle Norman's, I got to do a lot more next spring. I want to get that black out of the lettering, because his lettering should look just like Aunt Mona's. But he's got a nice headstone. He's got a well drilling truck on the front. He was a well driller. And he also, August 14th, 2003 is when he passed. And again, Mona just passed away. Back in March. And I'll go to the back of the stone. March 27th, 2022. So, there is one brother who is not here. And that is my Uncle Jesse Goodwin. Jesse's middle name is Daniel. Which, from my last video, two videos actually, both the South Berwick trip and the trip over to Clark Cemetery in Stetson, we've had Daniel. So, Jesse brought the name Daniel. Who, again, Daniel Goodwin, back in late 1600s, early 1700s, brought us over from England. And finally, again, my grandparents. I come here every year, and I sit and talk with them. Grampy died in 1996, and Grammy died in 1999. his markers, I gotta do some cleaning too. A lot of dirt and mud's kind of coming down because there's a little lip right there. And there's Grammy's. So, one last one. Irvin. Irvin and Jasper were brothers. So that's basically Grampy's uncle. Irvin R., 1896 and 1979. Eleanor R., 1899 and 1981. So that Jasper and Irvin were brothers. So that's where that connection is. But I'll tell you, the Goodwins, you know, this, I hate to say this, but this is probably going to be the last cemetery that you'll find a lot of the family grouped in. Grampy's line stopped at Chalmers Jean, who's already passed away and never had a son. So the Goodwins on my mom's side, directly from Grampy, have died out. But Jasper's sons, Uncle Norman, and Uncle Fuller, and I believe Uncle Pad also had sons as well, Brent being one of them. So there are good ones that are going to be keeping on through Jasper's line. Thus takes care of the line up from Jasper all the way to Daniel Goodwin down in South Berwick. So it's nice to know the Goodwins are gonna keep on for a while. But this cemetery again means so much to me. It's where Mom and Dad's ashes are going to be laid to rest, and ultimately it's where I'm going to be laid to rest. Now, the one thing that I hope Abby keeps going is, obviously, you know, my last name is not Goodwin. That was my mother's maiden name. But I am so proud to have that blood in me, the Goodwin blood in me, because their history means a lot to me. So that's going to be it for today. And thank you all for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.